Fox 28. Good Day Columbus starts now.
Amy, thanks. We are protecting your hard-earned money this morning. Local attorney David Meyer, who specializes in investment fraud cases, is joining us. Great to see you. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Lots of questions about retirement savings, and so many people out there who want to help you. Many of them, most of them, probably legit. But there's a trick being used by some to really get you to invest with them. It has to do with your ABCs. What's going on here? Explain this for us.
Well, given the recent financial crisis, now more than ever, we need to be able to trust the people that are giving investment advice.
Sure do.
And what we've seen over the last 10 years is just a mushrooming of titles, letters, designations at the end of people's name, and we really need to sort through that and figure out which ones are legitimate and which are less so.
Let's talk about a specific example of that, David. Let's talk about certified retirement financial advisor. You might see after somebody's name CRFA. What does that mean, and how is that different than a certified financial advisor or retirement financial analyst?
Well, the CSFA is just one letter different than a CFA, which is a chartered financial analyst, and that requires 900 hours of training. And the first one you mentioned requires less than 40 hours of training. Some of these designations are created by these self-proclaimed experts, these institutions that set up online, and some of them simply require a check and maybe a weekend course.
Really? It's all you do?
There's hundreds of them. There's so many the regulators can't track them. In fact, state regulators are starting to crack down on this because we're getting confused. I mean, you can see people's business cards, their name is this long, and then
all these letters.
All these letters.
And we are impressed by it. The more letters, the better, but that isn't always the case here.
Well, the financial industry knows that people are more likely to invest with people who have letters after their name. It's just alphabet soup of letters, and people really need to do their research and figure out what means what.
So let's go back to that. It's a great example. The first one was a certified retirement financial analyst, and then a CFA as a chartered financial analyst.
Right.
A chartered financial analyst, fewer letters, means more training in this case.
In that case, yes. And another example, the most recognized designation in the financial industry is a CFP.
Okay.
A certified financial planner. Exactly. But then there's chartered senior financial planner, which is much different. The first one, a CFP, requires hundreds of hours of training. It requires a significant test, ongoing continuing education. There's a code of ethics, and the website for CFP maintains disciplinary records for folks that have a CFP. The other one, the chartered senior financial planner, requires very little training. So there's only one letter difference, but it's significant in actual training.
One more example, a very common one, certified public accountant. We're all familiar with that. And then versus CSA. What's the difference there?
Certified senior advisor means literally that this person has obtained very minimal training. And a tip I've learned after representing so many investors in fraud cases is if the title has senior or retirement in the title, that suggests that these folks are likely going to push insurance and expensive products. So as just a general tip, I'd be wary of any title that has senior or retirement in the designation.
It's great advice as always. Just don't be fooled by letters after names. They are often misleading, I guess you could say.
Do your homework. Call or contact online the institution to see what kind of training is required, and just do your homework.
Investment fraud attorney David Meyer, thanks for coming on.
Okay, thanks.
Good information there. Dana.
All right, thanks.